I love you guys. Jeremy has been an unbelievably effective campaigner. What he's doing is really critical because the more votes he gets, the more votes the rest of the party gets. So congratulations. You managed it like an engineer. God bless.
Thank you.
You cannot win these campaigns without allies. The most important ally for me is right here, my wife Lisa, who you've all probably talked about. She's been the rock of Gibraltar and has allowed us to go places to do things I never thought were imaginable. But I feel so blessed right now because I have been traveling around the Commonwealth for a year doing what doctors do best usually, which is to listen. And I've just tried to pay attention to what people are saying. And I'll tell you right now, incredible enthusiasm, optimism. Pennsylvanians know what we need to do. Do I have it right? But there's some concerns I hear. The seniors in Allegheny County here have told me that they're worried about their Social Security checks not stretching far enough because of runaway inflation. Do I have it right? I talked to a young couple up in Erie. They're concerned because they can't make the first payment on a new house they want to buy. That's the first step, right? Why? Mortgage rates are through the roof. Couples all over the Commonwealth, new families, are worried about crime in their communities, and they're worried about fentanyl in their mailboxes. It doesn't have to be that way. Folks know how to manage this. The problem is John Fetterman won't manage it because he hasn't managed it. And let me just give you the three ideas that I want you to focus on, because what you've heard everyone say is important. I'm just going to ask you to double your commitment. It's not just 5 people, it's 10 people we have to get to. That's a nice round number we can all remember. These are the 3 ideas that I want you to focus on. They're where John Fetterman takes us in the wrong direction, and where me, you, and everyone else wants to go is on the other side. The first one is the economy. It's pretty clear that you don't want to take Biden's spending program and make it worse. That's exactly what John Fetterman pledged to do. He said he should be more like Bernie Sanders. Well, you can boo him in person. I think he's coming here. But that is a problem that is an issue for me and probably for you, because we're spending our kids' money recklessly. Right? And you don't want to increase taxes to make up for that spending, which is what Fetterman's tried to do. He tried to do it as the mayor of Braddock. He actually did do it. He tried to do it as the lieutenant governor, and he supported the Biden tax increase while not paying his own 67 times, which gets me upset, and you too probably. Right? That's the first. The second issue is crime. And I got the endorsement of the Fraternal Order of Police. And it was unanimous because they feel so wronged. I was talking to an officer outside here. He said one of the prominent communities in North Hills can't hire new officers. Only 10 officers took the exam. They usually have 300. Now, it's a problem because these folks are running with all the energy they have, risking their lives to try to save ours, and they don't feel respected. But when the lieutenant governor, who serves on the parole board, John Fetterman, says he wants to get rid of life sentences for felony murder, which he said was his #1 goal, or release 1/3 of prisoners, it's a problem. Right? That doesn't send the right message. You need to value the innocent, the victims, over what the criminals have created. And we have enough love in our hearts to do all of that, but we cannot forget the victims, and I won't. The third issue has to do with fentanyl. But fentanyl is bigger than just fentanyl. We're top 5 in the country, by the way, in fentanyl overdose deaths. The state troopers, who've also endorsed me, let me know that we have 7 times more fentanyl now in Pennsylvania than we had 2 years ago. 7 times. Why? We have an open border, which John Fetterman has embraced. We have cartels running human trafficking operations. When they take the profits, what do? They buy fentanyl from China, bring it into our nation, making every state a border state. We can shut it down. We have the ability to do it. But you've got to actually focus on that goal. Now, if you think you should legalize all drugs, which John Fetterman has advocated for, what you're signing up for is the problem they have in Oregon now. Only state that's done it has listen carefully, a 50% increase in homicide rates. That's a big problem. When you already have a baseline homicide rate in Philadelphia, the highest we've ever seen. And it's not so good here in Pittsburgh. I went to the Steelers game a couple weeks ago. 3 hours earlier, they won, by the way. 3 hours earlier, 3 hours earlier, there had been 3 men murdered just blocks away from where we were tailgating. So there are communities that are safe. These are all addressable. But here's the key. We've got to unite. I'm a heart surgeon. I'm not a politician. In order for us to deal with the biggest problems we face, which in my case is a broken heart, I've got to bring everyone together. I can't have us divided. Right now in America, we need to bring a sense of balance to Washington. Washington's getting it wrong with all these radical ideas. A sense of balance will let us cut through the partisan bickering and deal with the problems that you, me, and everyone else wants to address. So here's my favor of you. Here's what I'm requesting of you. Remember when we listened to the national anthem, the last words we heard were home of the brave, right? Yes. All right. You can't be free if you're not brave. So let's be brave. To be brave, you got to say what you see. So I'm going to ask you to pose a question to 10 friends. Pick anyone you want. They can be conservative Democrats, independents, Republicans, but you're going to ask 10 people. That's my pledge. Can you all do that? Yes. All right. Here's the question. Are you happy with where the country's headed? Now, if they say yes, you're going to gently take their car keys away. They shouldn't be driving. But I'll tell you, 70% of the time, 7 out of 10 of your friends are going to say, I'm not happy at all with what's going on. And then I want you to tell them that I'm a product of the American dream, like Jeremy Schaefer. My dad grew up on a dirt floor. We believe in the land of opportunity because I've lived it. The land of plenty can be ours if we don't overregulate and overtax ourselves. I believe that we can have a budget that works and doesn't recklessly spend our children's money. I believe in an all-of-the-above energy solution, right? Unleash energy so we can actually protect our nation. That'll especially help communities that are hit hard. I believe we can have safe communities, safe city streets. I believe we can have a secure border and allow legal immigration, like my father enjoyed. I believe the moms and dads out there, have the right to pick the schools their kids go to, especially if the kids are at risk. And I believe affordable care is ours. But here's the number one thing I believe in. You. I believe in you. Because together we can make this happen. Are you all in?